Hi everybody, this is Mama Kim. I recently did an appearance on the Ask Dino show, and let me tell you something, it was a great time. What you're about to see is a surprise impromptu interview given by Dino about 3 nominations he and a project he is producing was nominated for by the Los Angeles Music Awards. He also speaks of making your music great, very important. The interview took place right after one of Dino's shows on the Ask Dino show set. The music you are hearing is from the new Resurrection CD. They received 3 nominations: Best Rock Album, Best Guitarist Joshua Paracchia, and Best Rock Drummer Dino Maddalone.
I'm Kevin McDonald, and I am here on the set of the Ask Dino show with Dino Maddalone. A little uncomfortable. I'm sure Dino's not used to being interviewed himself, so I figured we're going to take the opportunity to talk with Dino about some really cool things that are happening in his life. Dino, thanks for having me in your studio.
Thank you for being here. That is great, man. I'm having a good old time.
I hear you have some really exciting stuff going on. Can you tell me a little bit about the award or nomination that you have?
Sure. I've been producing a record for Joshua Paracchia for the last 6 months. And we got nominated for Best Rock Album and Best Guitarist for Joshua Paracchia and Best Drummer for me, because I played drums on the record. So we got 3 nominations so far at the Los Angeles Music Awards.
Now, from what I understand, there's like, what, 1,000 plus entries in that?
About 20,000.
20,000 entries.
The entries are not just from Los Angeles; they're from all over the country.
And you are coming out in the top 3 or 4 so far.
So far, hopefully, yeah. I've already won Record Producer of the Year for the LA Music Awards from 2008, 2009. So I've been dealing with that with these people for a long time. But it's a great. Al Bowman is the EP of the show, and it's a great show.
So you've been doing a show for quite a long time, interviewing other people. So I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Who is Dino Maddalone? What are you about?
Oh God. Well, that's a good one. Actually, I'm pretty much my work. I'm a good father first, and I work a lot. I own a studio. I've owned 4 studios in the last 25 years, and I work quite a bit. So pretty much my work. I like to get out every now and then and do things. It's been tougher lately because it's been very, very busy. But I'm pretty swamped with work at this moment. So you can say I'm kind of a workaholic.
So when you say you have a studio, is this full pre and post production? Do you bring musicians into your studio, or are you doing work after studio? What is your studio?
Well, we do everything there. Actually, Gordon Michael, who works with me at the studio, we do. Well, actually, I'm a record producer first and foremost.
Okay.
So I produce records. Artists come in the studio, or they hire me, or they just come in and use the studio. But we also do television and film there too. So we do post-production. It's called sound design. So we'll special effects. We'll mix in sound effects and then mix the entire movie. And then I also compose music for television and film too. So we do. It's a pretty much self-contained studio. It's 2,000 square feet. It's got 7 rooms in there. We got everything known to man in there, and it's proven over the years. It's a very proven studio. So yeah.
You don't develop the relationships that you have with some phenomenal people that I've seen on your show in the past without having some real professionalism yourself. What makes Dino different from other producers?
I care. I really care about the music. What I've learned over the years is that your work is your calling card. And so if you don't do it great, and this is what I always try to tell my artists, if you don't do it great, records do not come with a set of excuses. So when you see a record, there's no like, well, there wasn't enough money. Yeah, there wasn't enough money, and we didn't have enough time to mix. Nobody sees that. They just know, is it great, or is it suck, or is it mediocre? You have to make everything great, because everything you do, if your name is on it, it's going to come back to you as great, or if it sucks, it will come back to you too. So you have to make it great. So that's what makes me different is I care about the music, I care about my artists, and I want them to be great. Because the job as a producer, it's really a tough job, because your job is to make somebody else great.
I noticed that in the show, that the show really isn't, even though it's called the Ask Dino show, it's really not about you. It's about all the people that you bring on, and your love for music and the people that you work with comes through in that. So I can appreciate what you just said. So what's next for you? I mean, you got this great show, you got this great studio. What do you see? If you were king for a day and you could have the dream of your life, what would it be?
2 weeks in Hawaii. No.
That's certainly good to have.
I know. What I want to get more. I love producing records. I love television and film. You know, that's like a newer medium to me. I haven't done as much in that, even though I've done a lot. Anything to do with TV or film, because the paint, the easel is so much broader with television and film. You can get away with all kinds of stuff. But you know, when you do music and records, you got to do, you know, your format and this and that. But you know, so I love television and film. So anything to do with television and film. Plus, I love my television show, the Ask Dino show. People always call me and ask me for advice, you know, and I would have consultation sessions. I would charge them, you know, I would charge them an hourly rate to talk to me. So I says, hey, why don't I just do this on television? Why don't I do this? Why don't I get artists down there? It is, they ask me questions, but they ask me, but then they ask me questions to ask them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the Ask Dino show. You ask me, and then you ask me to ask them. So that's why it's the Ask Dino show.
Well, thank you for allowing me to come on your set
No, I
and talk
appreciate
to you
it, man.
today.
I
It's
appreciate
been
it.
great. And
Yes.
I'm Kevin McDonald, and I've been here talking with Dino Maddalone on the Ask Dino show set.
Crash course in diplomacy.